Good evening, Vishwan. Vishwan, can you hear me? Vishwan, you need to join with audio. Vishwan, you are able to hear me? Vishwan? Can you hear me?
Ma'am, I think you can hear me now. Yes, ma'am. Just give me a moment.
5:28, I will permit everybody inside
Okay, ma'am. They're in waiting. Okay, it's okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's ma'am. Is it an auditorium?
So actually today completely Zoom from all the group of
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In auditorium with a different setup maybe later, maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Mhm.
Good evening, students. We will start within 2 minutes of time. Please stay connected. Good evening, Vishwan. Vishwan, your audio need to be connected, I guess. Vishwan, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Is there any PPT you need to share?
Yes, ma'am, I think you can see it.
Yeah, now it's visible. Within 2 more minutes, we will start, right? We'll wait
Yes.
for 2 minutes.
Yes.
Vishwant, you are ready?
Yes, ma'am. I think you can hear me.
Yeah, perfect. 2 minutes.
Yes.
Good evening, one and all gathered here. I take this privilege to welcome Vishwant Reddy, who is an alumni student and proud student of Velaman Knowledge Path. We are thankful to our management, Chairman Sir, Director Sir, Director Ma'am, for their continuous motivation to bring in the icon to motivate the students, role model and living example. So, which in the various field of the proven alumni of our Velaman Knowledge Path. It's a great platform and we are privileged to know in depth about the field. And on behalf of Velaman Knowledge Path, I thank Vishwant for accepting to join with us back and share his experience and to motivate his fellow members. He joined us in London School of Economics a week before, but still I hope there will be a lot of his own work will be there definitely to get settled. Even though in this interview he accepted our invitation and he's made himself available to come back to students to share his experience. It's a great platform for all of you to know his pathway. You have a lot of doubts to get clear. Our Vishwan is a very disciplined and sincere, focused child. We are very proud about him. We, for faculty here, Vishwan name, they always first tell he's focused, very much focused, and he deserved to take up this position, no doubt at all. And he made all of us proud at this moment. And very much happy to show him as icon to all of you. We also want so much of this Vishwant to come out from this batch who are listening. Definitely, you will get motivated and inspired from our student Vishwant. Of no doubt, end of the session, you will yourself will be definitely telling about it. Thank you for all of you for joining us on this holiday. This 5:30 of time, you are ready to spare and listen. That tells you how much care you take about your own career path and how much eager you know about the new opportunities available outside. So, I'm giving the platform to Vishwant to take it forward and will join us back in the session. Thank you, Vishwant. You can go ahead. Thank you so much. Unmute yourself, Vishwant. Please
Yes.
unmute.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that kind introduction. And I can see a few of you. I think few of you have turned on your videos. I can see. So I think if most of you can turn on, it could be an interactive session. And like I want this session more to be an interactive one because this is gonna be an about you, right? About you and me, right? What are we gonna do in our higher education? That's the basic facet of it. So before delving into it, firstly, I must tell you that thanks to Hema ma'am for inviting me, and thanks to LML institutions for inviting me for getting me back for this talk, as well as thanks to MK sir. Right, MK sir is the backbone of for this particular talk for me being here. So thanks to MK sir. So before going to discuss stuff. So first thing I must confess, what I must confess is that I'm greatly intimidated for being here for, I think, for a couple of reasons, right? The first reason is that I was once among you, right, sitting on that side and listening to the talks like this, which the Velamal institutions organizes about higher education and trying to figure out what to do next. So now I'm on another side, right, other side of the plane talking to you, right? So that was an intimidating moment. It really has a scintillating effect. And the second reason is still I am a student, right? I'm being one of you and trying to address you is something a greater task on my shoulders. And thanks to institutions for offering me this opportunity. So how we go about it is I'll talk a little about what are the options we can exercise. So the title of this talk suggests mostly about management. So I know what are you looking forward for, and beyond management, we will look at certain career aspects at large. And once the session is done, They have assigned us 1.5 hours, so we have an exhaustive time. So once the session is done, you can pop up your questions, you can raise your hand, or you can unmute, or you can put it in the chat box, or text me or mail me directly to my mail ID, which I'll share with you all at the end of the talk, and I'll be so happy to answer your questions. So delving into the talk which is decided for today, just give me a moment. I have to share my screen. Yes, hope you can see the screen now. The welcome slide. Anyone can just say yes.
Yes, Vishwa. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So first of all, welcome you all. Thanks for being here on an evening, Saturday evening. So thanks for that. And here it's afternoon here. So secondly, I think I would like to begin my talk basically talking about being a Velamali, and I think that's where we are coming from, right? So I remember once I finished my 10th grade, I realized that couple of things. The first thing is that I'm not very good at math, and second thing is maybe I'll suit for social sciences rather than sciences, and that's when the a search in the maze started to find a destiny where I should pursue my class 11th and 12th. And finally, we happened to drop at well-mal institutions. And I think that is one of the best decisions which has been made. And what I want to emphasize on this slide is what being a Velamalian. First thing is the kind of opportunities which the institution provides, right? So the institution have ability which they use most effectively to focus on every single child, what every single child wants, right? What are his needs, and providing a wide array of opportunities, right? Either in IIT or NEET or commerce, right? Commerce and arts. And I must say, I have twin sisters and they are studying now 10th grade in Velamal. So they joined Velamal after me. So they're continuing, they're continuing the legacy there. So being a Velamalian in the sense, the first thing is we have ample amount of opportunities. And being a Velamalian also means we must be able to use those ample amount of opportunities. I think there are certain times when I go out of track in the education, and always they are there to look at me and put me back on the track. I remember every time when we are walking on the lanes, walking from my hostel to mess or anywhere, whether it be night or morning, if MK sir was passing by in his vehicle, he will stop where I was and he'll say, Rishi, what is your progress, right? He remember every score, every exam scores I had the previous exam, and he says, and he will kindly chin me for sometimes for scoring less and appreciate me for scoring most. There was a continuous motivation, right? So that's what unique about it. We have an opportunity, and secondly, we are pushed to use it, and thirdly, we have to use it. So those are the three particular facets, I think, which we should imbibe during our life in Velamal. That's the first thing. Moving forward, some caveats which I want to point out at the beginning is that what I'm going to talk to you about today about your higher education is surely going to be overwhelming, right? So when you're looking forward about your future, and I know at this particular moment what's going on in your mind is about various apprehensions about your class 12, class 11th, class 10th exams, like whoever the participants here, or um, all those doubts about your future, right? Your exams are down the line. But it's also important to look forward beyond those exams, because that is very important to set the path already, because once you near the exams, you become much nearer, maybe by the month of November or January. I think our full focus will be on the exams, and we may has to keep this aside. Our look. So this is the right time, like September, October is the right time to decide what you want to. September has passed, so October is it's a right time to decide what you want to do, right? And get as much consultation as you can to go forward. So that's the first thing. So it could be overwhelming. It will be overwhelming, but I think it's time for you to put yourself in a tough shoe, right? Because that's important to plan for the future. And second one, what I'm going to tell now in my presentation is not going to be exhaustive because of the limited time. I'm going to focus on certain crucial aspects, and beyond them, if you can ask doubt, or we will chat later. And third thing is I'm I invite the questions from your side, because I want to know where do you stand, right? And what support do you need individually, so that I can give individualistic answers at the end. Um, First, talking about higher education, I think two particular aspects here. The first question which pops up in everyone's mind is whether to do in India or abroad, like whatever the stream, irrespective of the stream. And in my case, there was an opportunity to study abroad even after class 12th, right? Joined for bachelor's. And there were several apprehensions. The first thing is, so are we enough to go abroad and explore just after class 12? That's the fundamental question which has to be addressed here. So basically, after the class 12, we enter a complete new kind of atmosphere where there is going to be nobody to push you, right? It's just a self-motivated individuals who are going to push forward themselves to study. And bachelor's 3 years is most important years, because you're going to step into them in a couple of years, couple of months. What I will have to tell you is, people may say that you may finish bachelor's in something and then do something else in the future. So there's a tendency to take it light, the tendency to take bachelor's very lightly. But um, all the studies on higher education and my experience proves it right, that whatever your focus is going to be in those 3 years, if you're pursuing bachelor's in arts, or 4 years in sciences, so those three years or 4 years, what do you cultivate is what going to stay long with you. The attitude you generate before you turn 20 or 21 by the end of your bachelor's is what is going to stay with you. So those are most focused years, and it need a focused planning for that. So there are two things. It's good to do abroad, or is it good to do in India? But if you ask me this particular question, I would say doing in India is better, because bachelor's is a time we explore stuff. And when we are in a place we know very well, which is our country, and we can explore, when I say explore stuff, I mean the subjects, right? We can explore various subjects and find what is our interest, and then the plan abroad. So I think this dilemma is for you to decide, but I would go with studying your bachelor's in India and then moving to abroad, because your formative years, the formative base would be stronger if you do it right. So that's one of the apprehension. And second one is the type of streams. So what I must tell you is, there will always be talk naturally about which stream is good, whether to do engineering is good, whether the market needs engineering, right, or whether engineering is outdated, or whether to commerce is good, or whether to do arts is good. Like, will people still like doing political science, economics? What is the scope in the future? Maybe the market is not inviting for those candidates, may not be good earning. That is also one aspect. But I think all this is a myth, right? The market for every single individual coming from every single field is immense. When I say market, it's an adobe of opportunities waiting for you for every single person in all the fields are immense. It could be sciences, arts or humanities, data sciences, commerce and management, right? I'm not talking based on the front page of newspapers on the result date, where they say this person got this much package, this person got this much package because he studied in IIT, or in from AIMS, or from top IIM, right? IIMs, if you're looking for management. But I think that's a trivial detail that is going to be like the grains of sand in the mighty ocean of the market of opportunities which is out there for you. So leave those apprehensions. What you have to consider is not whether whatever you're doing have a market value, because it's surely going to have. What you have to consider is what you're good at, right? That's I think most important question. You have to consider what is your interest in, on what you could put more interest and study, rather than looking at does something has a market value to do, right? So market is immense, keep it in mind. So leave that aspect aside, whether doing this will get you a good earning job. Leave that aspect aside. It will, if you excel, right? That's the whole point of any stream. So leave that aspect aside and try to focus on where is your interest lies. Don't try to push yourself to do what is not your interest, or because of pressures from outside, pressures from family, pressures from peer group. Maybe all your friends are IITians, like all my friends are in IIT, and and not IITs. I mean, all my friends are doing engineering and medicine, and except the couple of them. So leave those apprehensions aside. Um so the various streams which are available is, first thing, the sciences, which you are familiar with. Second is arts and humanities. Arts and humanities might include pursuing economics, is a very good field, political science, sociology, journalism, and also some of the action arts, like, I mean, like theater studies, right? Theater studies, journalism, this is also one aspect of what you can do in higher studies. And in recent years in India, there is an upstream of something called liberal arts, right? Liberal arts by some universities like Ashoka University in Sonapet. So Ashoka University, they provide liberal arts. Liberal arts means you are going to study various subjects, like apart from all the social sciences I have studied, I have just talked to you about, including that law or psychology, philosophy. So there's going to be huge uproar. Like if you're undecided by the end of your class 12th and you want to explore the various fields which are available and have a focused study, maybe liberal arts could be one way. Liberal arts, bachelor's in liberal arts. So look at it. There are very few institutions in India which offer them. Like, I think the best could be Ashoka University, right? And second could be the Flames University, right? So look at them. And law, I haven't added it here. Law is also one thing. So I think you must be familiar with CLAT exam. And one particular suggestion I would give about law is don't do in any institute, choose the national recognized law institute, NLUs, National Law University in Bangalore, right? So the very few colleges need to be considered. Just give me a moment. Yes. So there are very few reputed law colleges. So just look at them, right? So don't get into law at any university. So when if you are choosing law, then you must be very particular about it. So that's the law. And next is the data sciences. So in the booming, so we know the importance of data here. The way, like, you must be familiar with Facebook. You must be hearing Facebook collects our data, Flipkart collects our data, Amazon collects our. So the data analytics or data analysis, something one of the most booming field, right? You are going to analyze the data for companies, and it is one of booming jobs. So that could be one of the fields you can look forward to. And next is the commerce and management, right? The commerce in the sense, whether you want to do CA, like BCom or something like that. So commerce is one. And then the management studies, right? So management studies is one more field. So there are a whole host of fields. And by end of class 12th, if you're pursuing in arts or commerce in Velamal, then you have opportunity to go into any of them other than sciences. You have opportunity to go into arts, humanities, data sciences, commerce, and management. So the field for you, and liberal arts and law. So the field for you is immense. So choose wisely which one. And if you're doing these, try to get into the most reputed institutions, like getting into like degree, the institution from where you obtain your degree is also worth. Try to get from a credible institution. And how to go about all this is one word, right, which I highlighted at the end, which is to consult. Consult as many people as you can. Consult your peers or consult who know about them, and try to make the best decision possible. That's important. So I have just emphasized this, right? The various streams which are available for us. One is economics, political science, sociology, psychology, English literature, theater studies, journalism, commerce and CA, and business management. So these are all some of the fields which are looking for huge employee market. So look at all these, and there are several others, right? I'm only speaking in terms of the sciences and social sciences and management. So these are certain fields which are available. So just have a look at what could be the top institutions in the country which you can get into it, and what could be the scope of each of it, right? I'll talk about scope of each of it as much as I can by the end of the session down the line. So look at the scope of each different field which is available, right? So if you are doing social sciences, um, moving forward, some quintessential attributes. So before talking about scope of each of this, because you are entering into a complete new phase from secondary, higher secondary to this, you are entering the higher education. There are certain quintessential attributes which are required in whatever the field you may choose, whatever the streams I have mentioned here, whatever the stream you choose, or whatever the field you choose, whether it is in India or abroad. There are certain attributes, I think, which are most essential as quintessential attributes, which I think you must imbibe. The first one may seem trivial, but I think it's the most important, which is the regularity in attendance. If you're missing the lecture, you're going to lose a lot, right? So keep yourself ready to get into this. You need to aim at 100% attendance. Don't miss the classes, and it's going to be a huge loss for sure. And second thing is individual note making, which you're going to do. And third is the most important thing, the interaction and networking. So when I said you have to do your bachelor's in, just give me a moment. Sorry for the disturbance. Hope you can hear me now. Uh, yes. Hema ma'am, I think you can hear me now. Like anybody can unmute and say if you can hear me. Just text in the chat box if you're able to hear me now. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. You're able to see the presentation, right? Yeah, we'll go forward. So that's the third quintessential attribute is interaction and networking. The very reason for me preferring India is because I feel with the social skills I have, I can interact better. And networking means meeting with new people in various fields, right? When we develop that network, we will know the opportunities available in each network, and we can make the best choice available, right? You can make the best choice. See, you can make the best choice only out of what you can see in front of you, right? What you can know based on the people you surround yourself with, right? Based on the people you surround yourself with, you will know what are available for you, what are the opportunities available for you, and that's how you move forward. So the networking is something very, very important, right? Keep in touch with all your friends, right? They may go to various colleges, and they can be continuously updating you about what's going on each college, and to grab every single opportunity possible. I think networking is the most important thing to do in when you pass out of the school, and even in the school. And classroom participation, I think this is most important, because that's where you stand out. That's how you will give getting an eye on various opportunities which are possible. And the last one is integrity. I think when I started my bachelor's, I think one best advice I got, apart from all the above advices, nobody have told me the above four things, but everybody has suggested me the fifth, my teachers and everybody, which is the integrity. When I mean integrity, synonymous to the honesty, but it's much bigger than what the word would suggest. So what I mean by integrity is, from this moment when you pass out of your school now in the class 12th, what is expected out of you is a higher degree of integrity, right? Which is about imbibing certain qualities and establishing and being worthful and useful and productive in whatever you're doing, right? That's the attribute which is quintessential. One more thing which is most important is reading and writing. Frankly speaking, so one of the reasons which got me into London School of Economics is the writings which I have done, right? The articles or the research papers or the research which I have carried out. So this is an important factor. Like, from this time, from, I mean, it's not about note take. It's about individual writing skills. Maybe somebody, maybe each one of you will have an interest about. For example, my interest is on political economy, for example, just to take case. Let's take my interest is on economics, right? So you will be aware of various news which is coming in every day. You see the news about how the COVID-19 increased unemployment, and you will hear this word called increase in inflation in the economy. And you have very clear images of the internal migrants walking for longer distances when the COVID-19 started, right? Let's see, these are the images which are in our mind. Or let's take, today is October 2nd, the Gandhi Jayanti, right? So you may be interested in Mahatma Gandhi, right? So these are various facets, right? Let's take various questions which each of us might have. Try to read about them, right? Try to read about each topic in which you are interested in, and try to put them down on a paper and try to get them published either in newspapers or online, or try to start a blog, or no need, just write it in your notebooks or keep it with yourself, right? So the writing is something, one of the most, and maintaining a journal, right, about your daily activities. So writing is something quintessential which is expected out of you when you join a higher education in India or in abroad. It is very important. And what I meant by atomic habits is writing and reading should be your atomic habit. What I meant by that is, atomic means small, right? The least, the smallest. Atomic habits in the sense, by moving step by step, by taking a very smaller steps, try to develop them. I mean, not if I look at an article which I wrote when I joined my first year of undergraduate and look at the output which I am giving now, there must be a difference. There must be some kind of an improvement. And that's what I meant. So now these are not going to be an Archimedean eureka moments, right? Suddenly you found the principle when you're having bath in the tub and you come out in the street and say you won about it. It's not going to happen that way. That is a myth. It's going to be happening out of a continuous practice and continuous development. So try to develop your reading and writing, which is something which I'm hugely suggesting. I'm not going to suggest you something particular you have to read, something particular you have to write. Whatever you're interested in, try to put it forward. I think that's the most important attribute to develop. Otherwise, you are going to suffer. To use the word literally and informally, the suffering is the only outcome if these are not there, right? Even till date, even I'll be suffering with improving my writing skills and reading skills, right? I'm still an aspirational reader, they say, who want to read more but doesn't read more, right? So try to imbibe them. There is a long process. Moving forward about the consultation. So here is what about. So I have told you about the higher education, India, abroad, and I have told you about the streams which are available. Now I want to talk about the consultation, right? How do you make a decision about what you have to do? The first thing is find out from your teachers and friends, right? Your friends must be having some different ideas on what they have to do, including parents, right, and teachers. So try to find out from them like what is essential, right? So try to ask them and get most information and what is the possible stream for you. So consult them. And second thing is the higher education consultancies. So there are several higher education consultancies you can walk into, and they are free. They are free of cost. They are not going to charge you. And there are certain things which are going to charge you, but no need to go for them. So there are certain free consultancies. For example, in Chennai and Bangalore, mostly in South India, we have this consultancy called IDP, right? They help a lot. And there is one more called ISEC, from which I have taken the support. So ISEC is one of them for post-graduation. So there are several education consultancies. If you click in the YouTube, you will get many. And if they are charging you, they are not credible, right? Consultancy has to be free. So try to find out consultancies which are free, and please try to walk in and talk about your interests. So that is one. And beyond all this, you have to be clear about your interests, what you have to do, where is your interest lie. Choosing what you can put your most of your efforts. I think that's the bigger question which you have to keep, right? Where you can put most of your efforts. And look at the career options, right? I told you the career options are immense, but you at least have to know what are the career options which are there to be answerable to parents, teachers and friends, to be answerable, right? And to know what you can look, what skills you need to imbibe. Look at the career options which are available. So that's one thing. And competitive exams. So try to write more competitive exams to know where your interest lies. CLAT for law, CAT, which you will write after your bachelor's, right? For management, IIMs, And you have GATE. GATE is for entry into the social sciences for in IITs, right? Like you write IIM, you write CAT for IIM. In the same way, you write GATE for IITs. You may have a thing that IITs are only for sciences, but you must know IITs, there are also branches for social sciences. To just give an example, Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, is one of the most reputed institution for economics, political science, and sociology. And IIM Guwahati, Assam. IIT Guwahati, sorry for the IIT Guwahati, Indian Institute of Technology in Guwahati, is very famous for the river studies and disaster management. If you are looking for something in disaster management, right, which is globalization and every disasters which are happening, if you are looking for something in that, I think IIT Guwahati has it. And you have IIT Delhi, which is offering wonderful courses on various psychology and sociology. And you have IIT Tirupati, which has most wonderful branch of philosophy, right? They have a beautiful branch of philosophy. So there are several other institutions. So look into the IITs also. They also offer the ample amount of opportunities. I have pre-decided in my mind that I have scored good rank in GATE, and I have pre-decided in my mind that if I don't get into LSE, maybe I'm going to choose or any foreign institution which I have looked forward to. Maybe I'll choose an IIT, maybe IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay. That's where I got eligibility in. So look at those factors also. So those are a few things which I have to tell you. And if you are planning for abroad, right, we are leaving the Indian options, but we need an abroad admission. Then if you're looking for abroad, I think these 6 things are the most commonly needed for everyone. Especially for postgraduates and some for undergraduates. The first one, English proficiency, is for all, right? If you're looking for abroad, I think you have to start this now. So if you have to go to abroad, you have to pass one of the English tests and get a required score, which is asked for. For example, I have chosen to write IELTS. In that way, there are others like TOEFL or GMAT, right? GMAT is especially if you're looking forward for admission in USA. IELTS and TOEFL will be enough if you are looking for admission in United Kingdom, UK or Britain. It's okay. IELTS will be enough. But if you're looking for something in USA, I think GMAT you have to prepare. So they all test your minimum English proficiency. So what those countries expect is if you're joining in their colleges, they expect you to have certain degree of English understanding. And you have to take this test will basically assess your English knowledge. So that's one thing. And statement of purpose. Every foreign institution is going to ask you this. They will ask you a statement. It could be from 800 words to 3,000 words to 5,000 words. 800 words to 1,000 words is mostly they'll ask for bachelor. What you have to write is, why should they take you? Right? What is the reason you want to study in their institution? What is your career prospect? So there you will write. So that's called statement of purpose. And just do this exercise once this talk is done. Just sit back, and if you have an institution in your mind, try to jot down on a sheet of paper. What are the reasons you want to study there? What is the purpose you want to study there? Just try to jot down the points and try to develop an essay, and that's going to stay. And third one is the reference letters. Reference letters means not anybody, but your teachers have to give reference letters, recommendation letters, in other words, for your understanding. So your teachers have to recommend you, right? Those institutions will ask you which teacher would recommend you. And you have to write, you have to ask your teachers, and they will mail your teachers, and your teachers will respond to it saying whether this student is good or bad, or should they take you or not, what is special about this child. So the recommendation letters from teachers is also very important. So that's what classroom discipline, right? If we are disciplined students, teachers will encourage us. So be a good student. That's about it. So good reference letters. And resume is basically, if you're for postgraduate, right? Resume or CV is about what you have did in your school life, the activities, right? I'm pretty sure all of you would have Velamal medals or Vedamal trophies by now, right? All those achievements, keep them safe. Have a count of all of them. So that is also gonna be worthwhile. And next is the work experience. May not be for UG, but for PG, post-graduation work experience, right? most of the people, once they are done with undergraduation, unlike me who immediately thought of doing post graduation, they'll take a break for a few years and work and take a post graduation. So that is also one way. Few institutions will expect you must have a work experience if you have to get admission there, right? So that's one thing. And academic competency. So academic competency is where I have talked about your writing, right? You need to have some publications to show that you are a student who is focused and who is good at writing, and you have good research skills, right? You are able to explore stuff. So academic competency is one of the parameters which you can look forward to. So keep it up. And career options, the general career options which are available for all arts and humanities, commerce and management. The first one is civil service, right? It's a golden thing. It's for anybody, so I won't emphasize on it. But if you are thinking on those lines, start from now. And because not to lose motivation down the line. So focus on civil services. That's the first thing. And second thing is the research and think tank. So you must be seeing in newspaper every day, you read reports, right? Reports on various stuff. This report said this, that report said this. You have an environment report. Just give me, I think there's some interruption here. Yeah, sorry, I think it's clear now. So there are several research think tanks. For example, one of the famous think tank in India is our Center for Social Policy. So Center for Social Policy is one of the famous think tank in India. If you are looking at something about law, environment, defense, etc. So Center for Social Policy. And then you have an institute called USI. So USI, which is in Delhi, you can intern there. So USI is a research think tank, which basically is about geopolitics. So you want to understand what's happening between India and America. So what is the outcome of our prime minister's travel to USA, right? And Germany, new government comes to power now, and how will their relations be with India, right? And what is going to be the future of Indo-Pakistan relationships? What is the standpoint of Kashmir? So all these kinds of questions about geopolitics, about the world politics, to put in rudimentary terms. So which is called USI. So that is one of the institution. And then if you are in Chennai, we have one of the best research institutions in India, which is a Center for Development Studies. Madras Institute of Development Studies. They are very good streams, right? You must have heard about Richard Taylor, who won Nobel Prize in economics on behavioral economics. So that field is being that's a famous field which the Madras Institute of Development Studies is currently looking at. So there are several research and think tanks in which you can work in. And next is a scholar and analysts, right? The data analysts, right? You analyze the news and you produce the literature. So this is scholars and analysts are one, right? You may sit down and write a book if you're really concrete about. And business consultancy. So this is one job which is booming now. Every business want to know how it can make most out of the market, and you can stand in a position to advise them. So to just give an example, one of highest paid student from my batch, like my classmate, now she's working in Zomato, right? Zomato as a restaurant consultant. So she basically tells restaurants how to develop your business models. And now her salary is around 14 lakhs per annum. So that's the first salary you get after finishing 3 years in bachelor. So the restaurant consultancy is something which is also a booming field. So you can work in that. And data analysts, right? I told you, you must play with the data, like start learning with small softwares like Excel, SPSS. Like Excel, you all are familiar with, right? How to analyze the data using Excel, how to collect the data, right? So there are institutions on this. For example, there is an institution called Lokniti. Okay, to just give an example, right, before and after election, you will have something called exit polls, right? Exit polls will predict pre-polls, right? Which party is going to win how many seats, and after elections, after the results, you will see why this party won here and not there, how it won this many here, seats, this all analysis which is there. So data analysts work on this. They work behind the newspaper, they work behind the TV channel shouting, they work in clearly on producing data. So that's one thing. And you maybe have a business idea, you don't want to work under anyone, you want to be your own boss, and you can start startups. And best startups are social entrepreneurships, right? Which is that you are helping the society also, because let's be frank about one thing, the world today have several problems, and try to find the solutions for it. For example, to just give an example, one of my friend have started a startup 2 months ago in Bangalore called Trash to Cash. And his basic idea is to collect the dry waste in the Bangalore city. At currently he's collecting around 200 tons a day. And what he basically does is to recycle them. So that's one of the social startup which he started in Bangalore, and it's earning very well. He told me that last month he have reached the break even. From next month he is going to look at the profits. So you can start your social entrepreneurship. There's an atmosphere for that. So all these are various career options and many more. I'm not exhaustive, as I have told you in the beginning. And one more thing, two more fields are, first is the teaching field. So teaching is basically a field which I am looking forward to, right? I aspire to be in the teaching field, teaching and research. So that is one of the good fields, right? You can be a teacher in a premier institution, right? So teaching is one of the wonderful field which is there. So I aspire to be one. That's my field. And second is the policy makers. So currently my course which I'm doing is about policy making. You can be the policy makers who makes the policies, right? And the jobs in it are available worldwide. If you can do it internationally, like in United Nations, World Bank, IMF, you must have heard of these premier institutions. So in those institutions, and in governments of various countries, you may go to various governments and help them. And third is Indian government departments. Our Indian government, I think the central government as well as the state government. I'm very familiar with the central government. Central government every year invites several thousands of students to be research assistants. So they will send students to research in India and ask how the people, what are the needs of the people, what policies can we make, right? You can suggest the government. And if your planning is good, it's wonderful, right? Our Indian former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is once in this field, he's a policy maker, and so you can aspire to be one. That's what I mean. So various governments are inviting. You can work under MLAs of your constituencies, MPs, and help them what the constituency needs. So all these stuff. So you can be good assistants, research assistants, suggesting. You may think these are big posts, but these are all available for them once you come out of your undergraduation, or even while pursuing your undergraduation. Look them, surf them in the online. You can see various jobs which are available. Or I would suggest create your own accounts in an app called LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is where you will basically see the job opportunities, fields, business news. So try to update to it. So keep an eye on all that. And moving to the end, so what you have to do now is very simple, right? At the end of this session, once the session is done, sit back for 15 minutes, try to write what is your interest and what are the institutions you want to put, what institutions are there for you, and whom can you consult to get into those institutions, right? And what are the opportunities available, and what are the needs that institution wants if you want to get into it, the eligibility criteria, and why do you want to study in that institution. So try to jot down these points, and I think you can start step atomic habits, as I told you. And also, while doing all this, at the back of your head, always keep in the mind to continuously improving your reading and writing, which is the quintessential characteristic. I think by doing all these smaller steps, you can surely get into wherever you want. And anytime you want, you can consult me. I'll leave my email ID at the end of the session, so you can consult me. Now, before we end the session, let's have a Q&A session. We have more than 40 minutes. So now, before we talk some other stuff, so I would like to have some question and answers which you can have. So you can directly unmute or put it in the chat box. So first I'll answer one question in the chat box. The first question is, you say that India is better in all the way, then why did you get admission in the London? I told you the answer. For bachelor's, India is the best, right? Because we are studying, then we can do enough networking there, right? And we will know what is our interest, what could be our major focus in, right? That atmosphere is offered in India, right? Because you will be near to your house and you can visit various places and you have various options and you can interact people very well rather than suddenly dropping yourself in an abroad country. So being in that position, you can stay in India and interact and do your bachelor's there, right, to know where his interest lies, and then look for abroad for your masters. That's what I have did. I'm very clear. I have did my bachelor's in India because I want to interact with various stuff and find my interest. Like basic at large, my interest is in economics. That's my larger interest. But I did my bachelor's in political science and sociology also, so I can have all the fields put together to have a world view. And once having the world view, I decided maybe policy making could be a good way to move forward. That's where my interest lies. So then I have chosen which institutions are good for policy making in the world, and London School of Economics is one of them. And finally, I'm here. So that's how you channelize. Yes, I think I've answered your question, Yuraj. The second question, will the statement of purpose will create impact on selection? The answer is, it is only the statement of purpose which will create impact on your admission. It's the most important thing. They are going to consider your marks very less. For example, in my case, in case of LSE, for pursuing my course, you need 3.3 grade points out of 4 grade points. So it's easy to achieve, right? Mine is 3.7. So it's easy to achieve the minimum grade criteria. What they need is your interest. You must show them you are deserving that place. That's when they will take. So statement of purpose is the most important thing. So yeah, that's about it. And next, are there ways to find my interests? Yeah, you have to do what I just told you. You sit back and jot down what you're good at, right? And in your mind, there must be some questions which you want to explore, right? So based on them, you can find your interest, right? My interest is in finding, for example, my major focus is on finding a solution for poverty and inequality. I mean, doing research in those stuff. So I have chosen the policy making to solve these two problems. So it could be that way. So what is the major issue you want to address? What is your aim, right? And choose which field can address it. In my case, it's poverty and inequality. That's my focus. So I have chosen this. So that's how you go about it. So what are the questions in your mind which are unanswered? And how can you answer them? What bachelor's or what master's you have to answer them, so you can go in that way. University of Medical, I didn't understand this question. Harini, I think you can clarify the question. So Tanuja, so that's how you find your interest, right? Look at what you want to address. That's the bigger thing. You will usually find your interest. And your interest might change. There is nothing to fear about. Interests are not same every time. So your interest might change. So be open-minded about it and find out what you want to do now, right? What you look forward to do now. And that's how I think you can move forward. For pilot course, either Indian flying school is best or abroad. Frankly, I can't answer this question because I'm not aware about pilots. So I don't think I'm the right person. I mean, with the little knowledge I have, I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question. So I don't have an answer for that, Stanley. But maybe you can put me a mail. I'll try to get in touch with you to contact any of my friends who are in that field and find it out for you, right? Or you can search for yourself. So two things can be done. So I'll try to do it, Stanley. Thank you. There are so many career options. How can we choose one? It depends on, like I told you, right? Just before you, I was talking about, Tanija, how you find your interest, right? Find your interest. Sorry, find what is the problem you want to solve, right? What is your objective, right? Not need to be a social problem, but what is your objective, what you want to do, and what course you can do. And by pursuing that course, what jobs you have. And with those jobs, what job is eligible to solve this particular problem. Simple math. Your objective, your education, your career options, and how can you achieve your objective, with what career option you can address your objective. if your administration, right, you want to administer better, maybe civils. No, you want to just explore more about it, scholar, right, analysts. You want to work with the data to analyze, data analysts. No, I want to get into action and solve it, policy making, right, politics, right. No, you just want to share with your students and educate more people about it, teaching, right. So understand that. So try to channelize from your interest. So that's how you go about it. What can I do if I'm totally confused with my interest? Explore from now. I think that's that's all I can say about it. Explore from now where is your major focus lies. And it's good to have too many interests. It's actually very good to have too many interests, but try to narrow them down, right? So that's how it works. Which exam is tough for you? I won't say tough. I think GATE is one of the challenging exam. GATE has 3 sections: English, verbal, as well as the field economics. And because I have pursued bachelor triple majors, right, in economics, political science, sociology, I haven't completely focused my bachelor's in economics. But people who have completely focused in bachelor's in economics, it's easy for them. It's dead easy. But because I had diverse interests, maybe I couldn't channelize better. So I think GATE has been a challenging exam for me. Yeah. And I think IELTS and TOEFL, the other exams which I wrote, I think they're going to be pretty easy. You just have to be conscious with what you speak and what you write and what you read, and you will make it, right? So IELTS, TOEFL is a piece of cake for you guys. Who is your inspiration, sir, to study economics? I think it's Amartya Sen, the straight answer for that question. To just go back to the memory line, when I'm studying my 8th grade in Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, so till then I want to be an IITian, right? I used to carry the large OP Tandon physical chemistry, concepts of physics by H.D. Sharma, and organic chemistry, Atkins, whatnot, the textbooks, ABC chemistry. So I used to carry all these big books, but I stumbled upon Amartya Sen's biography. And Amartya Sen studied in London School of Economics. That's how I came to know this school. So that's when I aimed to be here. So I read his biography, and Amartya Sen at that time was mostly working on poverty, how to solve the poverty issue. He's working on how to stop the famines, importance of democracy, economics and ethics. How can we include those? So there are several questions he wrote in the biography, and I think that's the moment I decided no more IIT for me. I'm leaving the sciences, and yeah, I barely passed my 10th with my sciences. I lost my interest and I completely shifted to economics. So that's thanks to Amartya Sen for being here. There will be something about SAT, GPA, and ACT scores. Yeah, so basically, each of these tests have different components, right? Basically, I think most components they will have is basic mathematics, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, followed by English competency, and maybe general knowledge in some exams. What these institutions say is they don't want you to get first rank, second rank, third rank in the SAT, which is being conducted. That is not what they want. Each institution will want a certain level of marks to get into them. To give an example, let's take IELTS, right? The exam I wrote, it is for 9. They will grade you for 9. That is the scoring. If you get 6, you can get into an universities like University of Manchester, which is the university in UK, but you can't get into London School of Economics. If you get 7.5, you can get into London School of Economics. If you get 8.5, much higher, which is universities like Cambridge and Oxford. So each institution in their websites will mention what is the minimum score you have to get into them. This is not going to affect your admission, but that's a basic one. That's like a ticket to enter the gate to apply for the college. So they will mention the minimum score and check out what is the minimum score and try to aim for it. So that's how these scores work. It's not about you getting the top 10, top 20, top 100. That doesn't work that way. So look at what is the eligibility criteria which those institutions want, and then look at them. So that's how these scorings work. I think I've answered your question. What if our interests are not accepted by parents? I haven't spoken with my father for 1 month. I think so. I mean, my family initially was hesitant about commerce, but prove your worth to them. Talk to them smoothly. Try to convince them. I mean, for everyone who want to take commerce or arts and sciences, I'm pretty sure 90% parents are not going to agree, right? So try to talk to them, try to tell that you are good at it. Show them you are going to be good at it, right? Know everything about, know the stuff about those fields, and talk to your teachers. Take your teachers' help to talk to parents. I think you have to do this. That's, I think, this is a stream which every one of us are going to go through. Even in my family, there wasn't approval in the beginning, but now they're very happy with my decision. So show them your worth in the family. There's no easy solution for this. I want to be a doctor, but when I finished my studies at the time, being a doctor, I remember one, but no, I didn't understand the question. I want to be a doctor, but when I finish my studies at that time. I think FAR, HFR, can you unmute your mic and ask your question, because I actually didn't understand what you're trying to say. So try to unmute. By then I'll just, is doing MBA in IIM worth future? Yes, surely. I mean, if you can get into the topmost IIMs like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, the most classic institutions, I think there is going to be a huge worth, right? You will, it's a direct gateway into certain jobs for sure, right? I'm pretty sure about, yeah, you have to do MBA in IIMs. That's what I can tell about it. So that's when the future lies. So try to look for the top IIMs and try to get in them. So that's one thing. How to take more than 400 plus mark in 10th grade? I'm not the right one to answer because I didn't get more than 400 in my 10th grade. So yeah. But my score was 97% in +2, which is in class 12th. My score was what we can say 97%. So I think because you have asked that question, I will generally take that question as how to get more marks. So try to make your personalized notes from now. I think that's the best suggestion. Anybody, don't depend on any guides or anything. This is for everyone. Try to make your personalized notes for every single chapter you have in your books. And I think in that way you can score more, right? So I think that's the suggestion which all of my friends followed, and like all my friends who did this have actually excelled, right? Try to make your personalized notes and do as many examples as you can. I remember our computer science teacher for me, Lavanya ma'am. I think hope Lavanya ma'am is in the crowd here. So Lavanya ma'am used to make us sit till night 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock and 11:30 in the college, and she made us do 4 question papers, model papers a day. That's how intense we have worked. So do as many as model papers, right? Do them rigorously. Last 2-3 months of your 10th, by when, or 10th or 12th or 11th, when you have finished actually what has to be studied, sit down and start doing. Look at the ample amount of questions which you can. And because there is one question, to just give an example the importance of it, there is one question which I got in my computer science test exam when I'm in class 12, that is not in textbook, that is not anywhere, that was there in some Arihant model question paper, some at the peak corner. I remember asking ma'am that question doubt, and because I did hundreds of model papers in which I stumbled upon that question, I was able to solve it and get a good score, 99. So try to do that. That's what I can tell you about. So model papers and personalized note making, that's your focus. Can you please show me again entrance test page, entrance exam page? Is this the one? Yeah, I think this is the one you're asking about. Yeah. Little about IIM Indore. So I think IIM Indore, apart from MBA, it is actually offering the integrated program, which is you will do your BBA plus MBA, right? I think that's the most specialized course in IIM Indore. And when I was studying in my class 12, that is going to be I think that time it was the first pass out batch is going to come out of. It's a new program, but That is an excellent program, right? From the feedback I have received from my friends, that is an excellent program. I am indoor integrated BBA plus MBA is a wonderful program. But one drawback. Is it right to study your bachelor's plus master's in a single institution? That's the question. Because you are going to spend a whole of 5 6 years in the same institutions. Or what if by the end of your bachelor's your interest changed, right? Once you studied your BBA, for example, but your interest is something in more particular. To just give an example, if you have studied economics in bachelor's, what options specializations you have, like urban conflicts, that is you're focusing in masters, you're only going to focus on urban areas, urban planning, public health. Anybody, this is not for sciences only, even social sciences can do public health, gender issues, conflict, war, religion and politics, political economy, in my case development, the policy and development, that's the biggest. So what could be a specialization could be. So in that way, when I look at IIM indoor, that's why I haven't preferred taking an integrated course to do the same thing at 5 years in a place. But IIM indoor is actually a pretty good college. The course outcome is wonderful. But I mean, the integrated program is an experiment in India. We haven't had like 20 30 years of it, so we don't know, we can't assess it in the future trend. But as of now, the few batches which has passed by, it's doing pretty good. So that's about IIM indoor, right? It's a pretty good one. Talk to your parents. NIRO, Nirosha, talk to your parents about it. How to take 400. I think I'll just answer your question. Without management subjects and max in the higher education, can you pursue management studies at a college level in India? Yes. The answer is yes. My friend, one of my friend has just finished her BBA, Bachelor's of Business Management in Christ University. And one of my friend who also doesn't have math background, now she's currently pursuing her MBA in Xavier's Institute, Bhubaneswar, right? MBA. Management expect you to have certain level of mathematical competency, but that you can cope up easily. For example, statistics, mean, median, mode, like some critical statistics and some mathematical analytics. So this they will train you, but without management subjects and maths in higher secondary, yes, you can pursue management. It is not going to be a tough task. Is civil services, is that tough to get in? I shouldn't be answering that question because I haven't passed civil service. What is more than doctor in medicine? I couldn't get this question, so I'll just. Sir, is BA Political Science available in IIT Madras? Please check it out. I'm actually not familiar about which course is available in, but there are few institutions it is available, but I'm not sure which IIT have it, but please check it out in their website, right? Just click IIT Madras BA Political Science, you will know whether it is available or not. So please check it out online. Is it good to do CA directly after 12th, sir? Yes. The answer is yes. One of our senior, not one, three of our seniors have finished their CA this year. I mean, they started after class 12 and they finished their CA exams released a month ago, right? So they cleared the chartered accountancy then. And they finished their articleship also. So it's perfectly correct. Do it after 12th, because when you start after 12th and you're going to finish it off in 5 years, right? I think 5 years. If you're by mistake, if you miss any paper in the middle, you will have enough time to finish off at least in 6 years, right? 6 years, you will be a CA, right? So started after 12th, I think that's the right, started during the 12th, that's the right decision you can make. So start it now after the 12th. I think it's a good thing to do. Sir, your email ID, I'll show in the last slide by the end of the session. What if parents don't accept our interest in becoming a pilot is more than a dream for me, but never accepted? Talk to your parents. I think there's no solution for it. We have to talk to them, right? We have to listen to them. I think that's the thing. Can you please? So my question, your fluency is completely awesome. What are the steps taken other than reading, brother? I don't know. Thank you, Tharuni. Thank you for your compliment, but I think I haven't got your question. What are the steps taken other than reading, brother? I haven't got that question right. So try to expand it a bit or try to unmute, right? What is the best scope to choose? I've spoken about it, right? Everything has a best scope, right? You have to excel. That's the only thing. Is JEE is easy to crack? Let's be frank about one thing, guys. Nothing is easy to crack. We have to put our utmost efforts in everything, whatever we have to do. Nothing is going to be easy, right? There are several thousands and lakhs of people competing for those seats, and everything needs your fullest attention. So it's easy to crack means I think only way to answer that question is put your 100%. That's all I can say. I want to study MBA, but I am a CS student and I don't know anything about economics and business. I'm thinking for the UG, shall I choose MBA or, one of my friend, her name is Achal Anandita. So she did along with me. Her subjects are economics, business studies, accounts, and computer science. And now she passed out of, she got into BBA at Christ University, Bangalore. It's one of the topmost BBA institutions in the whole country, and she passed out with a very good score. She's one of the topper in her class. So yes, you can take BBA without the knowledge about business. You can start. What do you consider key to success? It would be on my part irresponsible to answer this question because even I'm not successful a lot. But because you asked the question, I think put your efforts. That's all. What is your score in that? 97%. That's my score in class 12. Do you consider key to success? Yeah, Tanuja, I answered you. Put your 100% efforts and enjoy the results. I'm a bio CS student. Is it possible for me to opt humanities? Yes. It is possible to opt humanities. Yes. Many of my classmates have done their engineering. To give an example for you, one of my friend have finished 3 years of engineering. In 1 more year he's gonna get his BTech. 3 years of engineering in VIT, but because he couldn't get that, he couldn't focus on it on the 4th year, he left it and he joined in my BA course and BA economics, political science, sociology. That's what I did in my bachelor's, and he excelled. So yes, it is easy to opt humanities even if you pursue bio CS in your class 12. Yes, the answer is yes. Which institution is best for psychology? Psychology, I think, not pretty sure, but Christ University, Bangalore have a good department. Ashoka University has a good department. And one more, just the name just slipped out of my mind. Delhi University. Delhi University have one of the best. Sorry for not mentioning Delhi University in my whole talk. And SRCC, Sriram College of Commerce. Sriram College of Commerce is for economics and commerce. For psychology, Delhi University has one of the best fields and one of the best professors in the country, or the teachers at one of the best professors whose textbooks we follow here at London School are in Delhi School professors. So Delhi University have one of the best psychology. In Delhi University also there is a hierarchy from top Delhi University institution to lowest. So try to get in the topmost Delhi universities and they have best psychology departments and best economics department also. If you want to study your bachelor's and master's in India in economics, I think I would prefer you Delhi School of Economics, DSE. That's the most classic institution. Yes. What are the best professions in commerce streams? So the commerce stream is getting innovative in the recent years, right? Many people are looking into the kind of, as I told you, the consultancy, right? Consultancy in the sense, business consultancy, data analysis, and also CA. CA is the wonderful field we look forward. Apart from that, each companies are looking for managers like human resource managers, and they're offering for commerce stream students. So I think the commerce stream has professions there, right? It has a wide ability there. Commerce students are needed now because to run the world, we need them, right? Every single work to be done. So commerce stream is, and trade. Sorry to that slipped my mind. the trade industry is booming globally, and commerce students has best scope in the trade industry. You can work on trade, you can work on various shipping companies, um, domestic or international. I'm talking about international. So international trade have one of the best fields, so try to look at them. Sir, I studied in my old school for 10 years and now I'm in Velamal. My achievements in old school are more, but then my new school, Velamal, not even one and only to go. Can I get my admission abroad? Mail to me and get admission in the university college abroad in every year, and how much I score. See, scores are different for different institutions. Once you, if you're because you told you are planning for abroad, every abroad college, one of the best colleges, if you are looking at, once you open their website and click on the course, they clearly give you, very clearly, I can challenge, because I have looked at all the colleges: London School of Economics, Chicago, MIT, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and you have here Bristol, Manchester, Middlesex, Sussex. So in every institution page, it clearly mentions what is the minimum eligibility you require. So just look at them. Who will they mail me? Whoever mail IDs you give them, they will ask you for mail ID about the teachers who can recommend you, so you will give them. So that's how it works. What do you consider? What is your school in? Sorry, I am new to Indian syllabus. So can I know which group should I be taking after 10th to study programming? I think there's not much, but I think you can go with the CS itself, right? After class 10th, computer science is there, right? Computer science and mathematics. So that is one good course to take. But anyway, CBSE, right? CBSE means you have to take 5 subjects. English is must. Apart from that, 4 subjects you have to take. One of them, CS, is one. But along the side, I mean, what I can suggest you is, along taking the CS in your class 11th and 12th, practice programming, try to take private classes, try to do online courses. There are good courses in websites called Coursera. Coursera is one of the website where you can freely do computer programming courses. And there's one called Udemy, UDEMY. And then there's one more website called edX, EDX. So all these offers computer science programming courses for free for auditing. So you can just join them and improve your computer skills. And for class 11th and 12th, you can look for CS mathematics and take the help of your teachers. Ask them for extra help to develop your programming skills, and they're surely. I mean, Velamal school have yearly they conduct the programming competitions, right? They're very fresh in my memory. So try to join them and make a most out of them. Do the programming courses. I think you can go that way. I'm not sure if there are other specialized courses, but I think. Is Harvard University a good one to continue our higher studies? It is a heaven. Harvard University is a heaven. There's no doubt about it. So get into it. No question. So when I start a topic about my interest, it always results in a conflict. Try to figure out, right? Then take those 2 fields, right? For example, if there's a conflict between 2 fields, try to study those 2 fields and try to resolve the conflict, or try to bring them together, right? That could be the way. Have you made schedule to study for your exams? No. No schedule. I followed Velamal schedule. That's the schedule I follow. Sorry if I'm missing some questions, because I don't know, they're very repetitive. I have joined commerce for my class 11th. What is the best UG program you can suggest for an IAS aspirant? See, IAS aspirant, being in because you're an IAS aspirant, you can choose any program in UG. But what I would suggest you is, that optional subjects are very important in civils, right? The optional subject which you write, and you have 2 optional papers which you have to write, and they are in many civil servants down the line, those are the most deciding factors. Look at what is your optional subject, right? There are around, I think, some 20, I don't know, like more than 20 optional subjects: economics, psychology, public administration, uh, physics, chemistry, biology. I don't know. There's so many optional language, so many optional subjects. Look, what is your optional subject, and maybe you can aim at taking UG in that, like which, because if you're completely focused in civils, by taking your optional as your UG, you have more knowledge left, more in your platter. You're already ready with your excel in your optional subjects, and you have to focus on other papers, right? Essay writing, geography, ethics, and the general studies, and your prelims paper. So you can focus in that way. So try to channelize that way. I think that's one suggestion I can give you. But UG, you can take anything. I mean, it's not like you have to take only particular course of UG to be a civil servant. So also look at, if you have a doubt about your civils, whether you can do it or not do it, take an UG course which you think as your second option, not just for your civil sake. Don't look at from that eye. Look at from the other eye, which could be a best course as a future course, if not civils. So try to meet this conflict together, right? What is good for your civils? What is good for you, if not civil? So try to manage that conflict, resolve the dilemma, and move forward. Yeah, Coursera. Oh, why am I getting so many questions repeated? What is different from Indian and abroad universities? I have already spoken about it. Universities are always the same, but the kind of exposure which you can get is different, right? Because I am here in London, so I meet students from various countries in my college, and I know what is their issues in those countries and try to bring them together. Huge networking, right? It's about the site of networking. That's the most important thing. So, and also the exposure, ranking, the opportunities which will available if you're studying abroad university. Maybe you'll have much better opportunity. That doesn't mean studying in Indian universities doesn't give you best opportunities. That doesn't work that way. But yeah, so in terms of exposure, in terms of opportunities, in terms of networking. I think these are the three pillars I can talk to you about. See, if you don't meet the needs, generally universities won't consider you. And CV and resume is actually important, because the reason why they ask for our CV or resume is to show that we are working nature, right? We work hard. That's what they want to know, that we are completely continuously active. They don't care about whether you're doing small thing or big thing. That's not their focus. Their focus is completely on whether you are focused and working. So CV is important. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, there is a CBSE, there is a CBSE as well as an ICSE. There is psychology, right? After class 10th, you can take psychology in psychology paper. Some of my friends have done it, so I think you can go for it, right? It's completely fine. Yes, I think I have mostly answered most of your questions. If anything, you can unmute your hands and ask. I think uh, Samiksha has raised her hand. Samiksha, you want to say something? You can unmute and ask. I just started to hate physics nowadays. What can I do? I started hating physics. No, I actually love physics even now. But find out what is good in physics and try to focus on it. Make physics the fun. Maybe you can. I think till now there is a huge interest for me. After leaving my IIT, I got interest in sciences, and I occasionally read Stephen Hawking and Carl Sagan. So try to make physics fun. There is no better way. So try to find out how there's physics around you. In everything there's physics, right? How there's physics around you, the small things, riding a bicycle, the friction, thermodynamics, and your mechanics, as well as your magnetics, and why the water is in such a color, CV Raman's Raman effect. So try to get your interest into the everyday stuff. I think that's how you can develop and go forward. So physics is a wonderful subject. Don't lose your interest in it. I think, I mean, one of the world's best universities are either either in USA or UK, worldwide. I'm talking about the world level. So if they are in USA and you can look into those institutions, or there are, or to just give you an information, Germany have one of the world-class education, and in Germany the education is free. It's completely free, of course. There's no tuition fee in Germany. So you can look at the Germany also. There's one good instance, and in France, right, and in Singapore. So these are, I think, the best places where you can do master's degree. Singapore, NUS, France, Sanspo. Depends on the fields. I'm only talking about social sciences. Germany, you have one institute. I can't spell it. It is German name, and so that depends. So that's how it goes. Yes, that's all. I think I answered all questions. Yes, thank you so much. And sir, my interest is in music and computer science. Can I do both in the same university in abroad? Yes, there are options to do music and computer science together. Even LSE does that. LSE has that option. And there are fashion colleges, arts colleges, and several other colleges like that.
Rishwant, your audio and video both got muted.
Sorry, ma'am. I think some internet.
No problem. Just I thought
yeah.
of individual.
So yeah, those two things. What to study for making apps and games? I think computer science only, right? I'm not pretty sure about it. Computer science. My friends actually who have did their computer science in Christ University have developed some apps. So I think you can develop apps doing computer science courses, and there are special courses for gaming programming in UG. I'm not sure which universities offer them. There are special programs for that. I think you can enroll in them, and online, right? I'm not talking about this white hat by Jews or anything like that, an academy, but there's some, for example, to just say Coursera is a courses done by various world universities. By sitting in your home, you can study the courses made in those universities, and they give full information about full knowledge and how to do them, everything. So you can, and it's free. It's not only very few of them cost, but even if there is a school fee, you can tell them why do you want to study, and most of the time they'll redeem you. They'll allow you to do that course for complete free, and you get a certificate also, Google, etc. So you can do. There are VR and CS courses or classes for app making. Yes. I didn't get. Is it a suggestion? Okay. Yes. So you can look at those courses and try to pursue them. So that would be great. I shouldn't be suggesting because that's not my field, right? So this is about coding. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Nirosha. So you have those courses, take them. So I mean, I have no opinion about coding. Like, coding is great. That's all I can say. It's a good idea. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I think that's all. We have reached the end of the session. So I'll say thank you now. So thank you, guys. That's my Gmail ID and that's my blog address, which are on the screen. If you want to contact me, you can contact me through them. And yeah, I'll try to reply as soon as possible, so we can have a talk. But yes, and I think since the COVID beginning, this is the first time I have spoken continuously this much time, and my throat is aching now. But you are such a wonderful audience. You made my you're. I mean, I really thankful for your questions. I always wanted such a session where I can get the end of my get to go to the end of my throat. And thank you, guys. Thank you for your wonderful questions, every one of you. I try to answer most of your questions. If I missed any, I'm sorry. And if you think I can help you with further questions, you can mail me. I'll try to get you in touch with anybody who is in that field. And yeah, we can do that, right? But yeah, as a whole, we as a team has made a successful 1.5 hours intensive session. And thank you for your patience, all the 300 students who have attended the event. Thank you so much, guys, and waiting to meet you soon for more interactions. And thanks for Velamal institutions for calling me my mother institution, so I must not give more respect. I mean, it is my institute, I must say. So thank you, guys. Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity, and thank you, MK sir, for this session. And thank you, Hemalata ma'am, for continuously interacting, because there are several logistical problems in arranging the session, but we are able to get through all of them and finally take forward the session. So thank you, ma'am, for that opportunity. And I look forward to meet you guys more and more times. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishwan. Thank you so much. And we are very happy and proud to see you on this platform. And like the information that you shared, you know the value of it. It is like this to us went like anything. And there's so much of information, not only in your own field, you are able to cover up all that the children are actually looking for, if not in depth, but you have given a startup for them to start think and to do the research. Definitely, no doubt at all. And for most of the children, it will be a not only inspiring, that will be a life decision making, life changing session. I definitely tell it from my bottom of the heart. And when you students come back and guide them and tell them, that means a lot to them, more than the teachers everyday teaching the sessions in the class. That means definitely a lot to them. Thank you for that. And you have not only explored the information outside the work, also made them to think inside and to identify their own skills. You also told them to identify their own skills and to search inside, not only the outside. I have to quote that. And also, which we made us proud, like you also interested in teaching. So you're already doing that by starting that today. I have to tell you that.
So give me the first opportunity.
Exactly. I felt the same too. I am sharing that with you. Anyways, wishing you all the very best on behalf of Velamat family. You have been also be a very proud family member of us.
Yes,
no doubt at all. That is, and we are looking forward so many inspiring such sessions. Whenever you find time, feel free to connect with us.
Surely,
and
ma'am.
keep sharing your knowledge, and whatever we can do it from our end, we're always ready for you.
I'm always a student of Velumal, so you can
We feel
give
the
me
same. Definitely. We already have that too.
Thank you so much.
Very happy to see you in the wishing you all the very best.
Thank you.
We feel that this is just a beginning for you. Still, many wonders are waiting for you to happen in your life. We continue our prayers for you to many wonders and happy, successful months that come in your life. We like to be part of it and to celebrate those successes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Wishing you all the very best. Keep in touch.
Thank you
for your time. Thanks for your this. Yeah, we'll get back to you again. Thank you, Rishwan. Thank you, children, for your valuable time and interacting and making this more knowledgeable and valuable, and making use of this particular session and taking information and interacting. And you made our guests also feel very happy about it. Thank you so much for joining us, and many more sessions will come again with you to connect with you. We also thank principal in charges who are able to take this information to you, to all children, and to make you children available here and to connect with us and to make this a valuable moment for all of you. And we pray God to let the situation come into normal, so we all have a wonderful live sessions also. Thank you. Thank you, Reshwan. Thank you, children. Thank you, principal in charges. Thank you, one and all. So with all your permission, I am ending the session. Thank you.